You see this? It's written Upper Cagliostro and Lower Cagliostro in tiny letters. So the Cagliostro was divided into upper and lower classes, and not into archdukes and counts. You see this in Laputa too. Of the people in the flowing city, people ranked as priests were waiting for their gods to return. On the other hand, the lower class people wanted to rule the earth using the power of Laputa. Miyazaki is interested in this theme. The difference between social classes, with the upper and lower classes having different objectives. There was the line characterizing the count. With conspiracy and murder, we have sustained generations of archdukes. This clearly states that the family of Count Cagliostro was not originally in charge of making counterfeit bills. So the Count's family, the lower Cagliostro, was not very much involved in the counterfeiting and was actually in charge of conspiracy and murder. And I anticipate that the upper Cagliostro, the archdukes, were in charge of counterfeiting. To explain this, I'll give you a description of the currency back in the days. So... this image sequence starts when Lupin and Zenigata finally escape from the dungeon and find the printers. Lupin explains after telling Zenigata, who wants answers, that they're in a production site for the counterfeit bills. The story goes like this. They've lurked in the shadows of Europe ever since the Middle Ages. They ruined the Bourbon kings and funded Napoleon. They even brought about the Great Crash of 1927. A black hole on the dark side of history. Many have tried to find its source and no one has ever come back. Lupin says it with his dramatic tone. So you see from this description, the Cagliostro were actually printing the bills for only 100 years. Bills, the paper money, started to be used in the 19th century in Europe. There is a British gold coin known as the sovereign. As you know, the pirates, like those in the Pirates of the Caribbean, they all have gold coins. Generally, those are either Spanish gold coins or the British sovereign. The sovereign was issued in England in the 19th century. Since large amounts of gold coins are too heavy to carry around, banknotes were issued by banks, who guaranteed that the notes could be converted back to the corresponding amount. This is known as convertible banknotes. The convertible banknote, the banknotes issued in England in the 19th century, is the original of the bills we use today, such as 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000 yen bills. That's why this image shows the early Cagliostro actually making counterfeit coins. Next image. This shows the medieval period, the French Revolution. This is a caricature of the age drawn by Miyazaki. You see Napoleon with the globe with the fuse. This indicates that Napoleon was trying to conquer the world. But there was a time limit. You see the fuse is lit. He has to hurry. So Napoleon was trying his best to conquer the world. He cannot waste his time. Why? Because this sack of money he carries, it has a hole, meaning that he is almost broke. With this single caricature depicting that time, Miyazaki indicates that Napoleon was facing a major financial crisis, and that the Grand Duchy of Cagliostro, ruled by the Cagliostro family, was backing him up. About ruining the Bourbon kings, there was an incident known as the Affair of the Diamond Necklace. Actually, in this affair, Marie Antoinette herself did not purchase the necklace. Her friend, her best friend, some madam, purchased or attempted to purchase this absurdly expensive necklace, a diamond necklace that would have cost about 400 billion yen in 2018. Marie Antoinette was set up as a guarantor for the deal, the position she denied when she found out. Anyway, this led to a huge scandal in France, with people making up rumors about a lesbian relationship between the queen and madam. It was taken to court, but the absolute bad guys who actually tried to frame Marie walked out free of charge, directing the wrath of Parisians towards the queen. This is known to be one of the factors that triggered the French Revolution. In this affair, there was an occultist named Cagliostro who actually tried to sell the way overpriced jewelry to Marie, so the name Cagliostro actually appears in history. The Cagliostro was actually not a count, but he called himself one. He was an alchemist and a member of the Freemasons. There are historical facts about him, and the guy was not actually a count. There was a man who did research to find out that Cagliostro was just a countryman from Sicily, Italy. That man was a great German writer, politician, and thinker at that time. His name was Goethe. Goethe got angry about Cagliostro and decided to reveal who that guy actually was. So he took a personal trip to Italy and published a book about it titled Italian Journey, where he claims that he has finally found out the truth about Cagliostro. So you see how huge the scandal caused by Cagliostro was. As mentioned above, he was an alchemist and a member of the Freemasons. So Miyazaki used the name the Count Cagliostro in this movie. Let's keep in mind that he was an alchemist. This previous image, this depicts Germany's 30 Years' War. You see the war going on in the background. This German 30 Years' War is known as the last and the largest religious war that broke out between the Protestants and the Catholics in the 17th century. With that in the background, some bankers or lenders are assessing money. Any kind of money and coin, including the British sovereign back in this time, did not indicate any numerical value such as a dollar or a pound. They had to weigh the coins one by one and measure the specific weight to determine the content of gold, which defines the value of the coin. So engraving values on the coins was nothing more than formality, and here you see the transaction of that. That's what that money was in this age. And then this image transitions to, here we go, this image.